Let's talk about Cincinnati. Mark my word, he's already sounded off a couple times. If they don't do what he wants, the next time you'll hear him talk, you'll demand to be traded. I'm talking about Joe Burrow, the Bengals quarterback. He's gone public 3 times since midseason about the Bengals and their impending free agents, Jamar Charles, T. Higgins, Trey Hendrickson. He says it's time for this organization to pay the players who've earned the right to be free agents and earn the big paycheck. In essence, he's challenging Mike Brown. You cannot build your reputation of being historically cheap and lose these guys on top of everybody else who is left. And if Mike Brown doesn't get this done, you can creatively finance your way through salary cap problems. If he doesn't get it done a year from today, Joe Burrow is probably going to be the next one to say, I want out. Joe Burrow yesterday went public and said, I am willing to restructure down my contract that is a $49 million cap figure. I'm willing to restructure it down if you give the money I'm saving you to Jamar Chase and T. Higgins because he wants them both back. Keep an eye on what's going on in the 513 area code with Joe Burrows. Pittsburgh. I'm not talking about the Steelers today. I'm talking about the Steelers of yesteryear. We've talked off and on over the course of these podcasts over 2 years about guys who had great careers that really screwed up. You remember Antonio Brown.
Oh, yeah.
Antonio Brown, superstar wide receiver who talked his way out of Pittsburgh and then went other places and kept getting released with all the problems. Antonio Brown in court is totally bankrupt. He's not living in his car, but he might be living in his car soon. He admitted he filed for total bankruptcy. He earned $101 million over the course of his career. Every penny of what he earned is gone. He blew it. He wasted it. He gave it away. His family or a bunch of leeches took it from him. Just an absolutely staggering story about him. The third one is Kansas City. Travis Kelce dropping more hints that maybe he is going to step away from the NFL. And he's indicated it's just the body breaking down. You know, you look back at how many extra games that Kansas City Chiefs players have played in the last 5 years, 7 years, playoffs, into the Super Bowl. Wear and tear factor may have caught up on Travis Kelce. I saw some video in the Super Bowl which really shocked me of him giving up on plays or him getting frustrated or him not going into the pile to get loose footballs, which is part of his DNA. I was really, really surprised. Frustration factor was amazing. We talked about this on the Monday show. The Eagles doubled them. Eagles took them right out of the game. And then the Eagles, obviously, defensive front just crushed the pass protection that Kansas City had in front of Patrick Mahomes. So Travis Kelce has kind of dropped hints on the podcast with his brother Jason that maybe it's time. And he's not a young guy, and he's played an absolute ton of football. So keep an eye on that. So, John, Joe Burrow, for everything that guy has done to put Cincinnati back on the NFL map, he's bloody right to challenge Mike Brown to operate this business much differently. And you buy what I say, that he might be a year from today saying, I want out if you can't run this right. And your thoughts on Antonio Brown, your thoughts on Travis Kelce Swift.
First of all, I'm surprised Joe Burrow hasn't called for a trade already. I mean, because he's been, kind of peeved and he's been frustrated, and you see him on the sidelines rolling his eyes when his defense keeps it giving up yards. So, yeah, I don't see that one kind of working out in the end in Cincinnati. Antonio Brown, there's been a lot of nutcases like him that have just blown through all their money, and every sport has them, but God, it's just such an opportunity there. If you're making that much money, just to save some of it, invest some of it, and do it in a simple way, you would have a really nice nest egg. It's just pure life mismanagement. And then finally, I don't see Travis Kelce stepping away right now. Assuming he's all going to be with Taylor Swift, he's in the limelight. Why would you take a step off the stage? Unless you wake up one morning, you're so physically whipped and you're so beat up, you just don't want to go back to that regimen. So it'd be interesting. I still think he can play, but he didn't look like Travis Kelce in the Super Bowl. And I think Philadelphia had a lot to do with that. Okay, those are all things NFL.